Hello and welcome to a rather cold, a rather overcast and increasingly blustery day two here at the AIG Women's Open. I'm Catherine Downs. Alongside me here on the range is two-time LET winner Flick Johnson and Cody McBride from the No Laying Up podcast. If you're watching us on RNA YouTube, we've got an hour to build up to the start of day two coverage. All the television pictures will be coming along shortly, and you're listening to us live on AIG Women's Open Radio and on BBC 5 Sports Extra and on BBC Sound, so there's absolutely no way you can afford to miss anything on day two. The leaderboard is opening up and there are stories everywhere you look. Flick, what do we make of these conditions? Because this is not what we were expecting. We enjoyed the sunshine yesterday, the wind was blowing. This morning when I stepped out, it felt warm. I have my shorts on underneath my waterproof trousers now. There was very little wind and now everything is changing.
Yeah, and I think this is what we want, Cad. This is what we want the Open Championship here to be. We're on one of the most authentic linked courses I've been to. There's no stopping the weather that we're getting off the Bristol Channel here. I was here bright and early this morning. 7 o'clock, it was perfect scoring conditions. The sun was out, the legs were out, the shorts were on. Now there's a few more layers. The flags are flapping a little faster as we watch them go past on the range here. And yeah, those out there this morning have had an advantage, and hopefully they'll have made the most of it, because I think we're going to see the wind start to pick up even more now.
I know, I heard talk earlier on in our coverage on the radio of 35-mile-an-hour gusts. That's going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, absolutely, Kat. I was with you. We woke up this morning. I checked the forecast last night when I went to bed, and this morning put on my shorts, was expecting a nice, beautiful, but windy day. Proper links weather. I think that's what we all wanted, and it's turned out to be kind of cold, just overcast and gray, and the wind is definitely picking up. Conditions, and that's what we like to see at the AIG Women's Open, but so far today, Yamashita absolutely taking advantage of the beautiful morning conditions, going out in that late, early wave, and 6 under so far today. It's been phenomenal so far.
And it's been around the turn where she's really put the burners on, isn't it? 4 birdies in 5 holes for Yamashita. She's got it to 10 under par, the Japanese player. She's 3 shots clear of Rio Takeda, who's had a couple of drop shots in her round, hasn't she? The Japanese, another Japanese player. I mean, it's been the story of this tournament so far. We've got 3 of them in the top 3 now. Yamashita out in front, Rio Takeda at 7 under par, and Eri Okayama is still in 3rd place at 5 under par. She hasn't even teed off yet.
She's got a long wait ahead of her, and she's still got a few hours before she tees off. So I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it. She might have been looking at the scores this morning, thinking, okay, there's birdies out there, I can kind of go out and do the same this afternoon, or just completely take herself away from it and just forget about golf for a while, just relax, maybe kind of watch a couple of films this morning, maybe the new Happy Gilmore, or just do anything to take your mind off the fact you're doing great in this major championship. And yeah, it's up to her personality how she wants to play that. But yeah, for those chasing Yamashita, they'd have wanted her to not have done what she's done around the turn today, because shooting the great score she did yesterday, they wanted her just to go out there and consolidate, not go after this flying start like she has today.
And is the flying start, do you think, Cody, purely down to, I mean, she's obviously playing sublime golf, but the conditions this morning, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you're right. Perfect scoring conditions. She's taken advantage of it. 23-year-old Japanese superstar. She might be a rookie on the LET tour, or on the LPGA tour, but she's been winning golf tournaments all over the world for a long time. 13 wins on the Japanese LPGA tour. And kind of as part of a rookie class that came over in Q Series last year to kind of take over the LPGA tour and trying to take it over by storm. So far 2nd in the race for Rookie of the Year. That's just because she hasn't won yet. But I think she's played 13 events, has missed 2 cuts, has like 6 top 10s, is an absolute superstar. Funny thing about superstars too is that, you know, for us, I think it's a unique name, Yamashita. If you actually Google it, there's 2 very popular Yamashitas from Japan. She's not even the most popular. The other one is a pro wrestler, also a female.
Wow,
yeah.
What a sumo wrestler.
It's an interesting Google, not for bad reasons, is not sumo, professional wrestling. So you think of The Rock or people like that, but she's great and has such a great personality. 4'9". She's tiny out there. Maybe that's good when the wind picks up. She has a lower base, so more compact swing, but absolutely lights out so far.
It's funny you should mention that, because I was Googling Andrea Lee, because I'm going out with her and her group later on our coverage on AIG Women's Open Radio. And there's a martial arts wrestler called Andrea Lee. So maybe there's some kind of weird link between golf and wrestling. Anything you could spot there, Flick, as our resident golfer?
No comment on that one. I mean, it's just one of those funny coincidences, I think. But yeah, look, there's some great names up there, some great rookies that maybe the wider golfing world don't know. But look, there's the Japanese especially, they've got a great tour in Japan where they can learn their trade before they go further afield and venture to the LPGA. And yeah, people that don't follow the Japanese tour closely won't know these names, but as soon as they head stateside, they're making waves in the game straight away, and it's no surprise to those that know the names.
Oh, absolutely. And if people have ever played golf in Japan, you know, the greens out here, these normal links greens, a little bit slower, a little bit stickier, I would say. At least Porthcawl so far, they're not really glassed over or burnt out from the wind or anything else. Typical greens in Japan, you know, that's how they are. So they're not really used to super fast greens, so taking advantage of the conditions. We ended yesterday with a complete, you know, the top 6 were all from Japan, and they have such a great program that supports them. Now, local, Darcy Harry up on the top page of this leaderboard, 2 under so far today, 4 under total. We see other great scores out there. Madeline Sags from 3 under today, 3 under total. Birdies are out there, not just for people who are on their game, but there's a lot of people leaping up this leaderboard.
And just before we move away from those Japanese contenders for now, because obviously we'll be coming back to them over the course of the next hour with 3 Japanese players at the top of the leaderboard, and look at Mao Saigo, the Chevron champion, who's just behind us on the range here. She's been going through the most elaborate physical warm-up I think I've seen so far. Her coach, caddy, her team have been manipulating every inch of her body, from the muscles in her skull underneath her white cap all the way down her neck. Every muscle in her arm has been stretched and bent and warmed up. Now she's finally ready to start hitting golf balls. But that was very thorough.
It was a very thorough, and you can see that she travels with that team a lot, the team that know her inside out. And now that the temperatures have dropped out here a little bit, it's really important the players physically get warmed up as much as they can, just to prevent injury and just to get the rotation in the body, because they're going to have a few more layers on. It's a bit chilly out here now. Once they get moving, they'll be better, but they're going to have 3 or 4 layers on. So they just need to make sure they've got that rotation to complete the back swing, because it's really easy when it gets windy just to kind of, you swing halfway back, you don't complete your back swing, you lose your rhythm really quickly. So look, if the players can have a full warm-up on the range with their coach, with their physio, with all their trainers, just so they're physically ready for the challenge that's ahead of them today.
And Mao Saigo obviously has been playing some brilliant golf, winning her first major championship in her rookie season on the LPGA Tour. She's only at 3 under par. She's not far back from the leaders. She could get something going as well today if she can cope with these trickier afternoon conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. She has a great head on her shoulder. She's one of the most patient players that we have week in and week out on the LPGA Tour. I think she goes out, and if she thinks she can get something in even, maybe 1 under, and just kind of stay where she's at, that's going to be a win, because you're right. Winds are going to pick up this afternoon. We got some clouds that are starting to be a little bit darker. I see in the distance a little bit of showers now starting to blow
Cody,
through.
don't say it.
I'm just describing what we're looking at. So we used to have blue skies this morning. That is no more. And yeah, Mao Saigo. I think she's going to stick around.
Watch out then for the Japanese players. They lead the way with Miyu Yamashita top of the leaderboard at 10 under par. But there are some home hopes going pretty well. Let's catch up with news on one of them. And Ian Carter is following Lotty W.
Well, here's a tester now for Lotty W, because this is 5.5 to 6 feet to save par on the 11th. She dropped a shot at this hole yesterday, so she doesn't want to do that now because she's got some real momentum about her at 3 under par. And her scorecard is clean at the moment. The ball on its way and misses. And it's a first bogey for Lotty W, a 3-putt bogey at the 11th, just as it was yesterday, a drop shot at this hole, and it means she slips back to 2 under par.
That's a blow, isn't it, for Lottie Woad? She was just beginning to get her second round going. She'd made 5 straight pars, and then she picked up 3 birdies on the 6th, the 8th, and then the 10th, and it looked like, just like Mia Yamashita at the top of the leaderboard, she was going to use that clutch of holes around the turn to kickstart her second round.
Yeah, and the players that are going out there today, they've had their practice rounds. They've thought, okay, they've got their strategies of how to play this course. They've decided, and we've all seen this week, the first few holes really difficult. Even when there wasn't any wind this morning and you're hitting short irons, it's difficult to get close to these pin positions. And they know the last few holes are difficult, so they've really got to go to town and make birdies. Through 6 and 15 holes. That can also put more pressure onto it, because you know you're coming into this stretch where you need to make birdies before a tough finish. Lottie did that. She did what she needed to do up till the 10th. She'll be disappointed to give one back so soon afterwards, but she's still got some chances ahead of her. And it's just important for the players not to look at that top of the leaderboard. They'll see the leader at -10. They'll be starting to think, okay, please don't move too much further away, because it's going to leave them more to do. They need to stay patient. The leaders are all going to drop shots. They just need to be there, ready to pounce when that happens. And it's just got to be really careful today not to scoreboard watch for those that are chasing.
And Lottie Woad's character is, it speaks to that, doesn't it? Her patience, she's good at, and her bounce back ability after a blow like a drop shot at the 11th.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd use the word grit. She has a very high grit level where there's not a lot of things that can get her down. We saw this yesterday too. She bogeyed the 11th. I was out there with the great Sophie Walker calling her around, and then Richard Kaufman came and replaced Sophie. What happens on the 11th is that it's the first time that you really turn back directly into the wind. And Lottie ended up losing her drive left, and lucky to get out of some, she could have been in some deep junk over there, but played safe. She never takes too much on, pitched it back, and then had a very difficult third shot just on the wrong side of the fairway, because that's not where she intended to go, and ended up making bogey the same way that she made bogey today. But, I think where she's at right now, 2 under today, 2 under for this championship, after the whirlwind month that she's had, she has to be exhausted. Yesterday was the highest round of golf that she's had in like 2 months. She's doing pretty good for herself. Okay.
Yeah, but I was really impressed with how she put that round together yesterday. You're obviously out there watching, but she didn't have her A game, it would seem. But she's still, like the great players in this game, she's still got it round in that level par number, and she didn't play herself out of the tournament before it's even got started. And I think, considering she's so young and so inexperienced, she's got great titles under her belt already and has won tournaments on the LET, the LPGA already in this young early stage of her career. But yesterday was totally different for her, coming in as the bookies' favourite, totally new territory. But she just got it round, and I was really impressed by that. And yeah, that's what the great players do.
And as she embarks on her back 9 here at Royal Porthcawl, Flick, how is that going to play today in today's conditions and today's wind? What's it looking at compared to yesterday?
Yeah, at the moment it seems a bit more gusty, I think. As Cody said, you turn into 11 and you have that wind back into your face. 13 is one of the par 5s. And that's where the player's going to be looking to make a score. And then the 14th hole is the first hole on the back 9, I think, where you turn back towards the water, and then there's nothing stopping it. And those first few holes of the back 9's a few bunkers, a few bushes, which are protecting you a little bit. And then 14 through 17, there's nothing. You've got the Bristol Channel and then the golf course, and if it starts to get blowy and it starts to get breezy, that's what she's going to have. And it's staying patient with the gust, because you can hit the shot you want. You and your caddy have the number you want. You've played the shot you want, but you just get a strange gust, and it does something different. And that's going to happen to all the players at some stage this week, and it's how you deal with that which is going to really count.
And the wind is really picking up. You can hear the dinging of the flag strings on the posts. It's almost like being in a marina and hearing the yachts and the sails and the ropes of the yachts kind of clanging on the masts of the yachts. They're rippling, and they're kind of heading not directly west. There's a little bit more angle on those flags now. They're kind of coming down from the hills of Glamorgan and from the north, really, this wind. Maybe that's where the chills come from.
Yeah, I think it's a little northwest in it today. It's a very similar direction all week, which helps the players. So many times the players and the caddies, they play their practice rounds, and then it comes to the tournament days and the wind's at a totally different direction, which kind of makes your practice rounds irrelevant. But the great thing this week for everybody out there is it's the same wind, west, northwest. Like I said, that's what's bringing the little chill, I think, this afternoon.
It's all a bit quiet on the range at the moment, isn't it? it? Everyone seems to have either headed out or gone to the short game area. Mao Saigo she's doing something with her wrist at the moment. It looks like she's having a little bit of manipulation, a bit of tape being put on her wrist at the moment. Further down, we've got a few other players just working through the bag, but it's a little bit quiet here at the moment, which gives us the opportunity to have a look at the other story of the day, which is always a huge story on a Friday, particularly at a major championship, and that is the cut, which I think is hovering about level par at the moment because we had so many players yesterday under par. I think there were 73 of 144 players were under par yesterday, and that means that the cut is currently at level par. So there are some big names who'll be heading out today and feeling a little bit nervous. Charlie Hull amongst them at 1 over par, Maya Stark, Jennifer Kupcho, Nasahata Oka, they're all at 2 over par. And Lilia Vu, she went out there today, the 2023 champion. She's been struggling, hasn't she, playing alongside Lydia Ko and Lottie Wode. I'll just have a quick look at her score as I look further down the leaderboard, but I saw her pick up 3 bogeys on the bounce in the early stages of her round. You know, there's some scores have to be made this afternoon by players going out who are hoping to make the cut.
Yeah, and it's always at the back of the player's mind on a Friday. You just, especially the caddy, they know exactly what that cut line's going to be, and the player, they'll have an idea of what it's going to be, but they just need to go out there and it's easier said than done, but not think about what the cut's going to be. But we're looking at around level par at the moment. If it picks up a little bit, it might drift to 1 over. But yeah, there's some big players out there who are going to need to just be aware. They're going to want to push to try and to catch the leaders at -10 at the moment, but not push too hard, else they're going to be looking over their shoulder at what that cut's going to be.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Charlie, a couple others. There are opportunities. I want to mention Jenny Shin right now. Shot 77 yesterday, went out early today. Again, just like taking advantage of these conditions. 4 under so far on her round. That puts her at 1 over total, just absolutely battling, trying to get whatever she can in the house to get back to even par. She's through 16 right now, so 17th, difficult par 4, but a great birdie opportunity on the par 5 18th. So we'll follow that and see how it goes. Stacey Lewis, former Solheim Cup captain, former champion of this at +1 as well. So she's through 8, looking for a big back 9. But you're right, when we talk about how the wind is starting to gust, they're going to be in some trouble, I think.
Let's just catch up with Lottie Wode. Drop shot for her on the 11th. Ian, what can you bring us news of Lottie Wode?
Well, there's a very good chance of a bounce back birdie. Brilliant pitching wedge into the par 3 12th, and this is only 5 feet, Sophie.
Oh, maybe slightly outside 5 feet. I'm going to say 7 feet, but it's downhill left to right, and she's over the ball right now. It's on its way, trickling left to right and into the front of the hole. A bounce back birdie for Wode. She hates making bogeys, but she loves making birdies. That gets her to -3 as she marches on to the 13th tee box.
Kat, I'm going to call it 6 feet, but it's in the hole. It's brilliant.
Thank you very much, Ian. Great to be back out on the course. We've got live coverage coming up on the R&A YouTube channel. The television pictures will be on full coverage from midday today, and you will have coverage all day on AIG Women's Open Radio, on 5 Sports Extra and on BBC Sounds. Delighted to say that the 2022 Women's Open champion, Ash Buhai, has joined us here on the range. Ash, how are you doing and how are you settling in Wales?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Been a good week so far. This course is fantastic, and I think we all really enjoyed the experience.
Is it a bit colder today than you were expecting?
Yeah, I just walked onto the range and said to my caddy, man, this is colder than I was expecting.
Did you send that message for more layers?
Yeah, I have just sent a message to my parents, hoping they're still at the house, to bring a beanie and maybe some hand warmers, especially because going out this afternoon, it might get even colder when we're coming in those last few holes.
There was a 1 over par 73 for you yesterday. How did you assess your opening round?
Yeah, I felt I played solid. I was actually kind of surprised at the scores. I felt, maybe I'd be like, 45th to 55 at the end of yesterday, but scores were very good yesterday afternoon still. But this wind's definitely up a bit more this afternoon. It's going to be a different direction and being a bit cooler. Scoring's still really good. So yeah, I think we just have to obviously go out and play a good round of golf this afternoon.
And are you the kind of player who looks at a leaderboard? Are you aware of where the leaders are now, or do you just focus on your own thing?
No, being day 2, I just got to go focus and do the best job I can do out there, especially on this golf course. It's so demanding. You have to just get up and commit to every shot you want to hit.
And how good is it coming back as a former champion at the Women's Open?
Yeah, it's always very special. Like I say, any tournament you go back to that you're defending, but obviously this one in particular, it's been my favorite tournament all my professional golfing life, and obviously being a past champion makes it just a little extra special, and the RNA do such a good job in treating us players so well this week too.
First time that the event has ever come to Wales.
Yeah.
What have you made of it?
It's been great. I think hopefully we get some more crowds on the weekend. Everybody's excited to have us. Was reminiscing with LD the other day that we used to play back in Wales when I was playing LET full time, not far from here. So yeah, it's been good to be back here.
Well, get out there and enjoy your second round. We'll look to catch up with you at the end of it and find out how it's all gone. But best of luck today. Thank you so much, Ash.
Thanks very much.
Ash Buhai there, the 2022 Women's Open champion, heading out in about an hour and a bit's time alongside Se Young Kim and Yuka Sasso. So some big names in that group. Yuka Sasso amongst those who's really going to be battling to make the cut. She's at 3 over par. Ash Buhai going out at 1 over par, and Se Young Kim at 1 under par. So the projected cut at level par for now, but Ash Buhai suggesting that things are going to get a bit gustier and a bit trickier later on this afternoon. We could see that drifting out.
Yeah, and I think that's those that are out there this afternoon will just be keeping on half an eye on it. But yeah, don't be surprised if it slips to +1. That's currently in a tie for 76, with 65 and ties making the cut here for the weekend. So yeah, you don't want to do anything silly out there. If you're kind of finishing up now and you've got a decent score going, and just if you've got that putt to maybe make birdie on 18 at level par or at 1 over, maybe don't rush it by too much. Just 1 over might be okay.
Yeah, don't push it too early, right? You never know what's going to happen. But talk of hand warmers and beanies, Kat, we might be in trouble.
I'm not sure we're prepared for this.
It's rather chilly, isn't it? Let's head out onto the course and find out what conditions are like out there. Marcus Buckland is with Big Randy.
I am indeed, Kat. Yeah, it is a little chilly all of a sudden. Big Randy's got his shorts on. He's trying not to complain. He was also trying to get me to go into the Jizz and Fizz Palace a few moments ago, which was perhaps an indication of his current sentiments. But in a nutshell, we should just update you. Arya Jutanagan got her first birdie of the day on the last hole, so she's gone to 1 under for her round, 1 under for the championship. Angel Yin had a burst of birdies, 3 in 4 holes, so she's at -3. But the big story really, Randy, is the lack of progress from the world number 1 Nelly Korda, who bogeyed the 4th. She had a chip for an eagle on the 9th, had to make do with par. She's still looking for her first birdie.
Yeah, she let a really good opportunity go by on the 9th. I thought for sure she would be looking at her first birdie there. Just disappointing, you know, and she did. We saw her miss that putt on number 3, but I think really it's been her ball striking that's let her down so far, Marcus. She just has not been able to get close to these pins. We'll see. You know, a lot of holes left. They're about to make the turn here and head downwind. The par 3 12th, the par 5 13. So hopefully better times ahead.
Yeah, she needs something to happen very quickly. But at the moment of the 3, it's Angel Yin who's made the move, a couple under for her round to be at 3 under for the championship.
Marcus, thank you very much. Welcome back to the range here at the AIG Women's Open Day 2, where it's a bit chilly, a bit overcast and increasingly crowded, because we have another guest joining us here at our table on the range. It's Georgia Ball, who is a PGA professional, a coach, a golf influencer. You've got many strings to your bow, haven't you, Georgia? How do you describe yourself?
You've just described me very nicely. Yeah, so I am a PGA professional golf coach and a golf content creator as well.
And you're here at the Women's Open for just 1 day.
So luckily I've been here for 2 days. I'm leaving this evening. I've been here with Nick on, which has been an incredible experience to see the golf in action and get a bit of a difference in weather over the last few days as well. It's been a change.
Exercise the full wardrobe.
Yeah, of course.
And what's been your highlight of your visit here?
I think just, as I say, being able to see everyone in action, even just seeing them on the practice ground. I think it's incredible how you see them before they go out and play. It's an intense warm-up, then they go and play a round of golf, and then they're back out on the range afterwards. I think that's just so inspiring, and I think we can all take some inspiration from that. How much time and effort that goes in mentally and physically is just incredible.
And as a PGA professional, I know everyone, when you're walking up and down ranges and when you're watching the professionals play, everyone has a favourite golf swing to watch.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite golf swing here at the Open?
I do love Nellie's swing. I think Nellie is just
Nothing matter with that. It's a beautiful swing.
It's beautiful. It is. Seeing her out on the course and on the range, it's been incredible.
And what do you make of these scores that have gone in this morning? There's been some sensational golf play.
Yes, there has. I mean, the conditions are tough. The course is incredibly tough too. I think you can get hitting good shots, you can get penalised because the wind, even the undulation on the course too, it's super challenging. So I think the scores, if you can go low today, then you're playing some good golf. But yeah, I think the scores are definitely representing what we've got conditions wise.
Does it make you feel like you want to get out and play?
It does. Maybe if I could drop some of the layers.
Maybe if the sun was shining.
Fair weather golfer there.
Yeah. I think it's just hard in the layers, and I take so much credit for the girls being out there and adapting to the weather. Yesterday afternoon we had blue sky. It was 25 degrees now today, so it's incredible to see them just change and adapt to that playing wise as well.
And major credit to the caddies who have to carry everything
Yes.
as the players adapt. So layers on, layers off, prepared for rain, you name it. That's a lot of hard work.
And the snacks, don't forget the snacks.
snacks, of
All
course.
kinds of snacks. Any
The
good
water.
snacks for you here, Georgia, this week?
Well, I think I'm going to go out and have a little try. I've seen there's some good ice cream stands, so I'm going to go over and try some of that.
But it's an incredible spectacle, isn't it, the Open, and how the Women's Open, how much it's grown over the years, how big the crowds are here in Wales.
Yes.
They've really embraced this event. Have you had a sense of that in your visit?
For sure, and even just what they've put up as well for the visitors and the spectators. The village is incredible. There's so much to do, and I think even for the children as well. For some people, this might be their first time experiencing golf, and what an experience! If this is your impression of golf, then wow. I think it's just been fantastic, even out on the course, watching the girls play. It's been incredible, and just to see everyone so happy as well, it's an amazing feeling for someone like myself who's trying to grow the game. It makes it worthwhile.
Plenty of growth going around here. The largest women's sporting event ever in Wales happening this week.
That
And that's
is
something
incredible.
that everybody here should be very, very proud of.
Yeah.
Obviously the RNA, the sponsors, but the crowds have been great so far. I walked over getting ready before this, and I started to see a bunch of families coming in with bags full of blankets and some takeaway sandwiches and stuff like that, going to find their spot and watch, and hopefully a really good afternoon of golf.
They'll need all those blankets.
They will.
Temperatures ended to go. How excited are you about next year's AIG Women's Open coming to Royal Lytham St Anne's?
Yes.
I mean, you're from Liverpool. It's not exactly in Liverpool, but it's not very far away,
It's
is it?
close by. I am so excited. I remember when it was back towards my way a few years ago, and the atmosphere, the whole town was so excited. So it's going to be incredible.
What kind of show do you think we're going to put on in the northwest of England?
I think we're going to do a good job. I think, I think we're super welcoming. Everyone's so nice, and golf is just for everyone. So yeah, I think we're going to do a good job of it.
And looking up and down the range, who are you looking out for here? Mao Saigo, the major champion from earlier this year, is just going through the final stages of her warm-up. Bit of strapping going on that wrist again. Gabby Lopez, Mexican player down there. She's always great to watch. Who's standing out for you?
Yeah, I think Gabby Lopez, the power she has is just incredible, and I think all of the girls as well. I've took massive inspiration away from myself this week. Just seeing how far they hit the ball is, in real life, is just incredible. So
You touched on Nelly Korda earlier and how
Yes.
good her technique is. How important do you think rhythm is today? On a day like it's windy out there today, someone like Ash Buhai, amazing rhythm. How important do you think that is out there today for the players?
yeah, I think it's hugely important, especially playing into the wind. A lot of golfers assume, maybe not the professionals, but most amateur golfers assume we need to swing harder and faster when we're playing into wind. I know I sometimes experience that too, but it's almost have a feeling of swinging 80% and swinging just drop back and don't feel like you have to go harder because the ball spins more and it penalises you in that way. So I think they're going to handle themselves fantastically out there.
That is a great point for most amateur golfers. They don't realize they play in the wind, directly into the wind. They think, oh no, I need to hit this a lot harder.
Yeah.
Swinging softer, it's taking spin off the golf ball, meaning the wind is not going to affect it. A great tip. That's why she's the PGA pro.
It's the old chestnut of swing it easy when it's breezy.
Exactly.
That is exactly right. We're going to use that saying from now on.
And who is your winner this week then? Do you think Georgia? Who are you putting your money on?
Yeah,
Sunday.
Come Sunday, I would love, all the girls to do so well, but I think my heart's on Lottie this week. I think she's just doing incredible. I've followed Lottie's journey now for a few years, and considering she's so young, she's 21, the winning streak she's on is fantastic, and just to see her out there thriving is incredible. She's got a fantastic career ahead of her, and I hope she manages to do it this year.
What is it specifically about a Lottie that impresses you? I mean, obviously the results speak for themselves, but if you followed her story the last couple of years, what can you tell us that will inform where these results have come from?
Yeah, I think it's just, again, how young she is. She's 21. I think it's easy to assume at that age, the experience that she has already had. She just carries herself so well, and she just adapts. You see her go from course to course, and she just handles it so well. I think being so young, she's fantastic, and again, an inspiration to us all.
Well, we're keeping a close eye on Nelly Korda, on Lottie Woad, who is out. We're going to hear from Nelly Korda in just a few minutes' time. Georgia, thank you so much for coming along and sharing all your thoughts. We'll let you go and enjoy your final day here at the AIG Women's Open, but get out there and have some fun and enjoy the golf.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Georgia Bull, golf influencer and PGA professional. We are going to go out onto the course now and hear an update from how Nelly Korda's second round is going with Marcus Butland.
Par putt for an increasingly frustrated Nelly Korda, but she did play a terrific third shot from out of the greenside bunker. The wind is buffeting her. The ball, oh my goodness me, the ball lips out. And Nelly Korda, the world #1, drops her second shot of the day. 2 bogeys, no birdies. She's back to level par. And if she's not careful, she is going to be drifting far too far away from the leaders.
Yeah, back to level par. That's 10 shots off the lead of Miyu Yakishima, who is out in front at the moment. Nelly Korda, I was out following her yesterday, Cody, and we've talked a lot about the putting for the world #1, but it was stark and it was obvious yesterday. Anything inside 10 feet was not the length for Nelly Korda. She was great from long distance, but 10 feet was a real bogey distance for her.
That's kind of been the case for Nelly this year, right? And we could probably roll that back and say that's been the case for Nelly for a long time. So she's searching for it. And I don't know why those 10-footers give her such a hard time, because when you watch her on the putting green, if you watch her in any of the practice videos or anything else, she's lock solid. Very good technique, great tempo, gets everything started online, and she gets out on competition, and for some reason she just can't find her start line. And I know maybe that's the pressure, but you're like, wait a second, this is Nelly Korda. She won 7 times last year. Like, what pressure? She's used to dealing with pressure, but it also gets to be a point in time in every round where you start pushing things maybe a little too much.
Yeah, and when you're as good a ball striker and as good tee to green as she is, as we all know, look, she's obviously not a bad putter to win 7 times last year. She's just going through a bit of a lean spell on the greens, but it's really easy to get frustrated when you're hitting fairways, hitting greens. It feels like you're doing the hard work and not making the most of the opportunities. And when she's playing with all these great players that she is, she's watching them hole putts from left, right and centre from further out than she is. Then she gets over it and you watch your playing partners do it. And even with somebody like her, there's just a little seed of doubt in your mind saying, okay, these have done it, I must hold this and I will hold this, and then it's just putting more and more pressure on her, and it can really turn into a spiral, and it's really easy for it to kind of filter back into a long game, but that's not happening. She won't do that, but it just needs to not get frustrated, because it's difficult. You give yourself the chance, you should do the hard work and just don't take the opportunities when your playing partners are.
You were in the cabin watching a lot of the Nelly Korda round that I was out on the course following, I think, Flick. So as a professional, would you say it's tempo, it's line? What's going wrong from that distance for Nelly?
I think it's a bit of a combination of the factors. Like Cody said, just not starting it on the right line. at Dundonald Links at the Ladies Scottish Open last week. Again, put herself in contention on the weekend. Lottie obviously went on to win, but she didn't putt great. The greens were a little slower there. This week they're running at sort of 10.4 is what the speed is, which is slower than the LPGA are used to, but it's what we're used to at the AIG Women's Open. But I think it's a factor of the three, and if you're not confident on your start line, you're not going to put as committed a stroke on the putt, and then you just start to doubt the line. Is it the right pace on that line? And she almost needs to be a little bit more positive. When the green's been a little bit slower than she's used to, she can take a little bit of the pace out of it. So a little, if it's right edge, hit it inside the right edge. Little firmer, little more positive, take the break out of it, just try and get that hole to get in the way.
You know, the funny thing about Nellie's putting this year, and everybody thinks that it's been such a horrible year. Outside of last week, her putting numbers are better than she was last year.
It's crazy, isn't it? The
With 0
statistics do
wins.
not add up.
Her driving, her ball striking approach, everything has been better than she was last year, and is still searching for her first win of the year. It's Nelly Korda. It's eventually going to come. But I understand, you know, at big time events, she is going to be on every single featured group. On main coverage, they will feature her. She's going to hit every green. And you're right, Flick. We see a lot more Nelly Korda putts than anyone else. And meaning, if you're not making them all, it's not going to look the best.
No, it just makes people think that you're not making them. But like I said, the stats are there. She just needs to believe that they're going to go in.
Well, Sarah Schmelzel, US Solheim Cup player, has just joined us here on the range. But before we speak to you, Sarah, would you mind if we just bob out to the course for news of Lottie Wode and how she's getting on?
3-shot strategy at the par 5 13th for Lottie Wode off the back of her birdie at the 12th. She's left herself just under 100 yards to the flag, which is located in the back portion of the green and is fluttering really animatedly. The wind really kicking up. It's helping in the sense that it is behind her, but it needs to be judged very, very carefully by the 21-year-old. Just a wedge, 100 yards out. Sends it on its way on a medium trajectory, lands on the green now, skips up towards the hole, runs up towards the hole, and the brakes come on, and she's set up another birdie chance, maybe 5-6 feet. Beautiful shot, riding the wind magnificently from Lottie Wode.
Lottie Wode getting things rolling out on the course. Here on the range, Sarah Schmelzel has joined us. Thank you very much. We just needed to hear how Lottie's getting on. Obviously, so much talk about the English woman who's just turned professional, won in Scotland. What do you make of Lottie's kind of explosion onto the scene in women's golf?
It's incredible. It was pretty inevitable. I played a practice round with her last year at St. Andrews, just a few holes, and I mean, that was the first I've ever played with her or seen her play, and it's just different. You know, she's got that fearless attitude, but she's got the skill behind it, and so it's just really great for women's golf that she came out and she was fearless and you know, struck the scene really, really well, and I imagine it's going to be a great career for her.
Well, we're all delighted, obviously, because she's English and therefore she'd be playing for Europe in the Solheim Cup.
It'll be a tough opponent.
Striking fear into American hearts, that's what we like. How have you found your first round here at Royal Porthcawl? Level par going into round 2. Just give us a bit of a taste of yesterday.
Yeah, it's an amazing golf course. It's obviously a really good challenge, and today with the wind up a little bit more than yesterday, I think it's going to be even more of a challenge this afternoon. But all in all, good to get off with an even par start, and just looking forward to today.
And have you got the layers packed in the bag? I mean,
oh yeah, I'm from Arizona, so anytime it's like below 60 or like 70, I'm like, okay, better bundle up.
Do you find that you play golf differently in colder conditions? Does it affect your body and the way you move?
I mean, a little bit, but at this point, I mean, this is my 7th year on tour, so I guess I've played in it enough. When I first, went to college and was away from Arizona, I was definitely different, but I mean, you just kind of pack for the conditions, you put however many layers on, you can comfortably swing in and just go from there.
Yeah, I think you do. So it said being from Arizona, you're not used to these conditions, but the more you come over, the more you play in it. Is it something you look forward to, just kind of doing once a year?
Oh yeah, I love links golf. I think it's so fun. Being able to kind of throw all the technical stuff out of the window and just see shot, hit shot, and then go hit the next one. It's an amazing way to play golf, and I think it's so much fun to come over here for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's fun to just go out and embrace it, and it's as authentic and natural links course as you find out there, which is something nobody on tour gets to play very often, so it's just something to really enjoy, I think.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Are you the kind of player who goes out with a score in mind, or do you just go and take
No,
what you
not,
get?
not really. Just trying to take what I can get on the day, see, you know, what I'm capable of, do my best, and whatever it adds up to, it adds up to.
And is there anything specific that you'll be working on the range as you prepare to go out today, given the conditions and where you are on the leaderboard?
Just seeing how much the ball's moving in the wind is pretty much it, and yeah, we'll just see what I've got.
Look forward to watching you. Thank you, Sarah, for giving up your time. We'll let you go and go through the warm-up. Excellent to hear from Sarah Schmelzel there, a Solheim Cup player for Team USA, currently at level par and heading out with Nasa Hataoka and Gabby Lopez at 10 minutes past 12. Best of luck.
Awesome, thank you.
Let's have another look at the leaderboard, shall we, at this stage in the programme. 20 minutes until live coverage begins on the RNA YouTube channel. We'll have live coverage right the way through the day on AIG Women's Open Radio and on 5 Sports Extra and on BBC Sounds. But just looking again at the leaderboard, Mio Yamashita still out in front at 10 under par, 3 shots ahead of her countrywoman Rio Takeda. Paraji Ananarukan has moved up to 5 under par. She's tucked in alongside Eri Okayama of Japan, also on 5 under par. Lindy Duncan, she got things going early on, didn't she, but dropped a couple of shots. She's at 4 under par. And Lottie Wode has moved up to 3 under par. And I was looking for Darcy Harry's name because not very long ago, the Welsh woman who is a member here at Royal Porthcawl, she was at 4 under par, but I'm having to scroll down a little bit further. She's now at 2 under par. She dropped a shot, 2 shots actually, with a double bogey at the par 3 15th. So she's back to 2 under par. But I was just going to say what a great round she was putting together. She had birdies at 5 and 6, at 9, and then at 12 and 13. But that double bogey at the 15th has just knocked her back a little bit. But to step out and play the way she has, under all the expectation of her home club and how much she would have been hoping for a fairy tale here, she's been performing superbly.
It is, and I love watching her play. I saw her play for the first time when she finished second at the Ladies European Tour Q-School in December, and I think she finished second there. So okay, so this is somebody to watch when she comes out on the LAT this year. Won in just her 8th start, so obviously is fearless. Kind of took to the pro rank straight away, winning and getting herself in contention. I was very impressed with the game straight away. Very powerful player, hits it a long way, which you have to now. That's kind of the modern game. But I love how she just enjoys it. She always looks like she's got a smile on her face, whether it's a referee saying he needs to play faster or someone giving her a high five as she walks down the fairway. She does everything with a smile on her face, and that's what I've really taken when I've seen her out on the course during the practice rounds this week. She's got a boyfriend, Jakob Skodfolsen, caddying, so very comfortable with that. Family, friends. Playing in her home country in a major championship is an unbelievable experience that she'll remember this forever, and it's so early in her career. It's something she can really take a lot out of, a lot of positives. She's still tied for 19th. Yeah, she's had a double, but she's made some great birdies out there today. So she just needs to keep enjoying it and just keep playing as she is, because she's very talented.
Yeah, 3 holes left of her second round. Darcy Harry, she's at 2 under par, so 8 shots off the lead. But we'll head back out onto the course now, shall we? And we'll just catch up with Lottie Wode, Lilia Vu and Lydia Ko. That group being followed by Sophie Walker and Ian Carter.
13th green, and Lottie Wode with a real chance of back-to-back birdies now. Dropped that shot at the 11th, brilliant birdie at the short 12th, now at the long 13th. Really good strategy here, wasn't it, Sophie, in going in a 3-shot strategy, the third of which has set up this chance from 5 feet.
Well, you know how good she is with wedges. Yesterday the tee shot found the bush on the right-hand side, so she laid up with a hybrid. From 100 yards, she has stuck it below the hole, uphill, right to left putt here. For back-to-back birdies, it's moving towards it, and it finds its home. Making a move here, Lottie Wode.
Yep, she moves to 4 under par. That's her 5th birdie of the round, just the 1 drop shot, and 4 under for the championship. Birdie also for Lydia Ko. She moves to 1 under.
Fabulous stuff from Lottie Wode. 4 under par now, 6 shots off the lead. She had such a steady start. I was updating listeners on Radio 5 Live a little bit earlier on this morning, just saying I think it feels a little bit like she needs to get something going, and she has.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what those early groups taking advantage of it, right? She putted really good yesterday, and you could tell that the issue is that she missed some greens and was scrambling, and those putts that looked really, really good, majority of them were for pars. Today, she's hitting greens and turning those into birdie opportunities and making the putts. So it's great to see. It's what everybody wants to see out there from Lottie.
And you can hear the applause as well. There must be a good gallery following Lottie Wode. And looking ahead to these afternoon starters, we're just seeing them come out onto the range. Delighted to have been able to speak to Sarah Schmelzel a little bit earlier on. And we've got, some big names out there who will be looking to chase down these leaders. That is an eye-catching group, isn't it? At 16 minutes past 1, Gino Titican, the world number 2, Minjee Lee, who's a major winner this year, 3-time major winner now, and Charlie Hull at 1 over par. They go out at 16 minutes past 1. Titican at 2 under par, Minjee Lee at 2 under par, 8 shots off the lead.
Yeah, I followed them around yesterday and fortunate enough to do it again this afternoon, and they all dropped some what I would class as stupid shots. This kind of Charlie left it in a fairway bunker, which you'd never see her do that normally, but second hole, trying to get off to a fast start and just made a bit of a silly error, left it in there. Minjee had a 3-putter from not very far on the 13th hole, was in the greenside bunker in 2 shots, played a great bunker shot to sort of 10 feet, walked off with bogey. So there's that, and Gino hit it into a couple of fairway bunkers early on and made bogey. So look, Gino and Minjee especially are in great positions at 2 under. Charlie's got a little more work to do. She kind of lit up the place for that middle section, making I think 5 birdies in 7 holes, but just couldn't quite hit the tee shots when she needed to. Missed a few fairways, got a few scruffy lies by doing that. And kind of that group, when I watched them, it kind of really showed the importance of finding the fairways around here, avoiding the fairway bunkers, of course, but also the rough sticking places. So you just need to find that fairway to be able to control your ball into the greens a little bit better.
It's all about controlling your ball, right? And I think we talk about that a lot, specifically on links courses, but on the driving range where we're at and the way that the range is situated, it's a great question for you. So we just had Sarah on, right? She said, I want to see how the ball is flying. The issue is that the way the range is situated, the wind every single day is just whipping straight across from left to right. So no matter how they're hitting it, they're only seeing one flight. That has to be difficult when you're used to seeing a shot shape, even just your stock shots. What mentality does that put you in as you get ready to start your round?
Yeah, left to right is the one that the pros really hate. Myself, I always hit a draw right to left, sometimes a bigger draw on one day than the next. But the players, if it's into the wind, you can obviously see it's going shorter or not as far. But it's really easy in this strong wind that we have on the range here, with it being left to right. You can just start to nudge further and further left with your alignment. And when the players start to struggle, often the week after an event in the wind, they struggle because the basics and the fundamentals of the golf swing just get a little out of kilter. So you have a slightly wider stance, so the ball position can get changed. Your alignment with playing in the wind here, it gets a little out. The swing gets a little shorter, a little quicker. So when you're on the range, I'm trying to use it as a warm-up this morning. Before the range, you're trying to get the body moving, you're just trying to get loose. I wouldn't worry too much about where the ball's going. I'd be trying to hit a few punch shots and just get a few different shots that you're going to use out there today. Just get the one swing thought, maybe, nothing more than that, but not worry too much about where the ball's going, because it's going to be totally different once they get out on the course.
Just trying to stay loose. As we're behind us, we have Ingrid Lindblad, who's a rookie on the LPGA Tour, but is definitely not a rookie in major championships, that's for sure. A stellar amateur career that she qualified for handfuls of majors, but traditionally plays a pretty high draw. There's no ball that is drawn so far for her. So I wonder that's where it came from, of the mental strain that you must go into as you're getting ready to go play your second round.
Yeah, the adjustments that you've got to make. She hits a draw, but like I said, she's seen none of that today. So she's just got to get out of the way of, okay, she usually sees that right to left shape. She's not going to see that for the next half an hour while she's warming up here. She's just not got to let that phase her. And it's easy just to kind of get into your own head. And that's when the caddy is really important. They can say, look, we're just here to get loose. We're here to get warm. Nobody's counting your shots on here. Nobody's judging you on this. This is just literally a warm-up. The caddy just needs to remind them, yes, it's a big day for them. Yes, people are trying to get in contention for the weekend. Yes, they're trying to make the cut, and everyone's got a different story. But look, it's Friday. Just don't play yourself out the championship here, and just keep the ball in play.
Nelly Korda looking to do just that. She dropped a shot on the 11th. Can she bounce back on the 12th? Marcus Buckland.
Well, to this point, at least, absolutely nothing has gone the way of the world number one, Nelly Korda. But a terrific tee shot on 12 has Big Randy given her a great chance to get her first birdie of the day.
Yeah, absolutely, Marcus. It's the best shot we've seen her hit since way back on that third hole. She stuffed her tee shot to about 4 feet, looking to cash in the birdie, settles over it, back and through, and right in the center of the heart, the first birdie of the day for Nelly Korda. She gets one back. She's now +1, -1 on the championship. Perhaps there's enough time to get the momentum rolling.
Yes, absolutely. She'll be looking up. The leaders are still a long way off, but there's still a long way to go. Equally, she's got to be mindful of the cut mark. So there's an awful lot to intrigue us as we head towards the 13th tee.
Mark of a champion, isn't it? Nelly Korda there with Marcus Buckland and with Big Randy from the No Laying Up podcast. Cody McBride, his partner in crime,
I thought you were going to call me Little Cody for
Little Cody alongside me with even littler Flick Johnson on the range here on the AIG Women's Open Radio. We're also broadcasting live on RNA YouTube, awaiting the start of the live television coverage, which kicks off from 12 o'clock. And we're also on 5 Sports Extra on the BBC and on BBC Sounds as well. The leaderboard, just to remind you, Mio Yamashita at 10 under par. She is just teeing off on the 18th. She's put 4 straight pars together, playing some steady stuff down that really treacherous final stretch here at Royal Porthcawl. Rio Takeda, another Japanese player, tucked in behind her at 7 under par, 3 shots off the lead. Paraji Ananarukan is at 5 under par, the Thai player, alongside Eri Okayama, the Japanese player who's been up in a tie of the lead overnight, but obviously seen her countrywoman pulling away. And she tees off at 3 o'clock, so she's got a really long wait still to get her second round underway. Lindy Duncan at 4 under par. Ailim Kim, former major winner, is also at 4 under par. Madeline Sagstrom has put a good round together here on day 2. She's at 4 under par alongside Lottie Wode, alongside Emma Spitz, the Austrian. And then we get down to Mimi Rhodes, who, if we're talking about the home hopes, we've covered off Lottie Wode. We're following her second round in our live coverage at the moment. And we've also talked about Darcy Harry, the Welsh wonder, who is being followed by enormous crowds here at her home club at Royal Porthcawl. But Mimi Rhodes, she's at level par for the day. She's 3 under for her for the tournament, and she's had a bit of a mixed bag today, hasn't she? Because she's had a couple of birdies, 3 birdies, and a couple of dropped shots in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's, as the crow flies, from not far from here, just the other side of the Bristol Channel in Taunton, and played a lot of golf at Burner and Berrow Golf Club. So, again, it's a very authentic links course, as we're describing this. She got off to a great start yesterday. 3 under. Nobody's talking about her because we're all talking about the English superstar in Lottie at the moment. But Mimi's come on to the LAT. She's won 3 times this year.
Consecutively, wasn't
yeah,
it?
I mean, winning a golf tournament is difficult. Physically, you've got to beat 100 and on the LET 131 other players. It's mentally tiring because of the emotion that goes into getting in contention and winning. To do that 3 times in a row is unbelievable. Had a stellar amateur career in the Curtis Cup, and sister's a very good player in her own right. And I heard her say yesterday she's got loads of family, friends, uncles, aunts. They're all out here. And her interview yesterday just sounded like she was having a great time. She's obviously continued that momentum into today at 3 unders in a great spot. Hopefully she can have a great back 9 and go out and enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably not the starts or the finishes that she's wanted so far this year in the majors that she's played, but tremendous on the LET. I mean, you mentioned the 3 wins. Obviously, had a little bit of a slump as of late, but such a promising career in front of her, where all of this is happening, and she's still trying to discover and learn how to be a professional golfer. It takes a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're seeing now with the players that are coming through on the LPGA and the LAT now. when I came out on tour a long time ago, it took 1 or 2, 3 years to find your feet, to learn how to play the professional game. With the college system now, and with the national systems that the amateurs have, they're ready to win straight away, and that's what we've seen with Lottie, with Mimi last year on the LET. Chiara Tambellini won in one of her first events.
Rose Zhang.
Yeah, there's so many now that we can name that they just come out and ready to win and compete, and it's not a surprise when they do that anymore, which 10 years ago it probably was.
Just see Maya Stark walking onto the range. She's got a pink and maroon top on, looking for her tee time. She's at 1:05. She'll be alongside Lauren Coughlin and Hyuji Choi. And she's giving us a wave. Maya Stark walking by.
A wave as we go past here.
Major champion, Maya Stark.
Exactly, the US Open winner from earlier on this year. And do you think that gives her a little bit more stature as she walks down the range there?
I think it does. You know, she's had a kind of an up and down year so far. Obviously, the up was a major championship that she won, the US Women's Open at Erin Hills. Down, some missed cuts, some battling some swings, some injuries. I do want to note here, I don't know, part of the story at Erin Hills was her relying on her caddy, Jeff. Jeff is no longer on that golf bag, okay? So Hadley is back on the golf bag for at least this week, but we'll see where Maya settles out. So far, great opening round for her, though. I mean, finishing 2 over, not the end that she wanted, but at one point in time, got it to a couple under par, and we thought that that's where she was going to be finished at in the clubhouse, playing with a close friend of her, Lauren Coughlin. I think they're going to have an excellent afternoon. They know the number that they need to post in order to make the weekend, and that's what she wants to do. But it's great to see, between her and all the other, we're talking about, youth golf and the youth golf waves. Maya now somehow is considered a veteran, and she's really only been around for 3-4 years. It's crazy to see.
Well, I remember Lynn Grant and Maya Stark bursting out. We were talking about all these.
When she won the DP event, and I think that shows the depth that the women's golf has at the moment in both on this side of the Atlantic and on the LPGA. There's so many players that we can talk about that are still so young, and it's great for the game what's happening at the moment.
So what lies ahead for you this afternoon, Flick Johnson? Who are you out there and who are you out there with, and who are you going to be watching?
I'm out of the same group again. I'm with Charlie and Minji and Gino. Like I said, they all hit some great shots yesterday. They were just starting to get warmed up now and start to get to the course, have some lunch. And they were just the caddies that have looked at the weather and looked at all the scores, and I'm sure they'll have been out to walk a few holes, see how the course is playing, see just how much the wind is affecting the ball out there, and trying to it's the gusts which are going to catch them out this afternoon. But looking forward to watching them, and hopefully they can kind of move towards the top of that leaderboard.
And Cody, I know I've got some time to share with you this afternoon, so that's going to be exciting. But what are you doing in the meantime?
I'm going to go back in the studio, hang out in there. I don't know, try to stay warm, get some lunch, though, prepare. We're going to have an amazing walk this afternoon that I'm very much looking forward to. We
are going out with Andrea Lee and Amy Yang and Leona Maguire, who is at level par, the Irish woman. Andrea Lee at 2 under par and Amy Yang at 2 under par. So we could see maybe one of those players putting a bit of a drive on.
Well, we're going to try. We're going to be cheering them on, rooting them on, describing these beautiful vistas. And now, look, we got blue sky. We only had to wait an hour, but it's here.
The Welsh weather is back.
And that is part of the joy, isn't it? And the unpredictability of links golf. We've had beautiful sunshine this morning, still calm conditions. The leaders have been tearing it up around the turn particularly. That section of the course has been playing beautifully. Tough closing stretch, which the leaders are just coming down now. And then in comes the cloud, in comes the wind. It twitches slightly from the north. It's become very chilly indeed, but there is blue sky in the distance, and we have an exciting afternoon's golf here to look forward to at the AIG Women's Open Day 2, Friday here at Royal Porthcawl. Let me just give you a quick rundown of the leaderboard as we come to the close of this hour and we look ahead to the live coverage. Miyu Yamashita is just playing down the the 18th at the moment. The Japanese player 3 shots clear at the top of the leaderboard. She is at 10 under par. Rio Takeda is playing alongside her. She is also playing down the 18th, has put 4 straight pars together after birdieing the 13th. She's at 7 under par. Paraji Ananarukan is at 6 under par. She's 5 under for her round today, the Thai player. So an absolutely stunning round for Paraji Ananarukan. Eri Okayama is at 5 under par. She's yet to get her second round underway. The Japanese player tees off at 3 o'clock. And then we have Lindy Duncan and Ailim Kim and Madeline Sagstrom and Lottie Wode at 4 under par alongside the Austrian Emma Spitz. But my thanks to Cody McBride. Thank you very much to Flick Johnson from us here on The Range. We're going to hand over to the live TV coverage on the R&A YouTube channel, and you can follow all the action on 5 Sports Extra and on AIG Women's Open Radio.